Hello, everybody. We have a special treat today. I have an interview with my good friend Rachel. We've known each other for about 5 years now. Met online in a group on Facebook, and she's become one of my dearest friends. I think she has a lot that'll help you. We have come from different places, and we've come to the same solution for some health issues. And I think this might really bring home the idea that carnivore eating is not just about weight loss or weight gain, it's about internal healing. So, without further ado, my friend Rachel. Hi, everybody. I want to introduce to you one of my best friends ever. This is Rachel. She agreed to come on my channel because we want to talk about a little something that's helped both of us lately. And although Rachel and I have very different health issues and very different health histories, we've ended up in the same place kind of to solve all of that. So how are you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing good. How are you, Cynthia?
Oh, confused about Zoom, but we'll survive it.
Figure
um,
it out.
yeah, okay. Well, maybe what you should do is just kind of tell people a little bit about your health history, not what led you to this carnivore way of eating. Just tell whatever you'd like to tell, and then how you kind of ended up here.
Well, how far back do you want me to go?
Well, as far back as the meeting will allow us to go, having
I'll
only
make
like
it
40 minutes.
fast. I'll leave out big segments. Uh, Basically, the way we grew up is my mother didn't have a lot of junk food. She cooked country food, but she
Mm,
didn't buy the packaged junk food. That was a special occasion food.
right.
So we didn't grow up with a lot of junk in the house. But I always had bad stomach issues. And I remember one time we were making taffy, and I laid down in the floor in pain because I couldn't help pull the taffy. We were always doing stuff like that, interested in learning new things. But
Yeah.
anyway, I remember one time it was so bad she took me to the doctor and he said, "Tonight, don't eat any black eyed peas. You can have the juice, but don't have any black eyed peas." And I thought, why in the world, all those years later, I wonder, why in the world did he tell me not to eat the black eyed peas at night? And then I realized after I learned about carnivore, I had been plant based for 5 years. So I was eating fiber out my ears. It was the fiber.
Oh, yeah.
It was the fiber. And fiber I stayed bloated all the time.
A lot of
And
people have that same experience. Yeah.
yeah, even at my weight, my stomach was huge. And I realized part of it is skin, excess skin from when I had 3 children and gained lots of
Yeah.
weight.
We all have that.
But anyway, I finally had cut out when I started doing plant-based. It took me a while, but I finally cut out all the any processed foods that had refined oils in it. And when I
That's a good
did,
start. Mhm.
yeah, when I did, um, my psoriasis went away and my weight started going way down. And I got down to 92.5. And I remember the first time that happened is when I had COVID, and I thought, oh my gosh, I better start eating.
Wow.
Um, so at that time, I would just eat what I could taste because nothing had any taste. So anyway, I managed to gain another pound or two back, but I've been stuck there. So my weight was a concern because my muscles were, I just felt weak. I was already diagnosed with osteoporosis, and my teeth have started to break down on the tops. And I had it in my mind that it usually happened to older people.
Mhm.
I could be wrong. But anyway,
Well, I mean, yeah, I've had osteopenia, and just recently it had progressed to osteoporosis, they say, but we know how we think about some of that, but go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, I don't put a lot of concern in that, but my teeth do bother me because I've
Mhm.
always taken care of them. But anyway, I noticed here my face just felt like it was melting. I felt
Mm.
like it was just, I thought I was aging. I've never, ever looked my age. And I felt like all of a sudden, over the past couple of years, especially, and I realized when you hit 60, things really start moving along. But then I started listening to you talk about carnivore and other people, but you've been taught
Oh,
the
yeah.
opposite all your life. You're plant-based, indoctrinated. Now, I have to say, I was not vegan, Cynthia. I
Yeah.
ate meat occasionally. I have a leather sofa. I'm not a vegan.
Yeah.
I don't care if you wear leather boots. It doesn't bother me. But anyway, so it got to where I was concerned about my health. And oh, one important thing, I kept getting rib injuries. I could lean over
Yes.
something. I mean, just lean over it to reach for something and something would pop. And I realized this has to be my cartilage is getting weaker too fast. It should not be
Mm.
happening
Wow.
this fast. I mean, I'm 64 now, and this was happening the past 2 years. So um, then repeated shoulder and arm
Mm.
injury.
Yeah, injuries, even healing from injuries has gotten easier for me on carnivore, it seems like. And I've had a couple of bad injuries.
Yeah, you have. And that's what I keep hearing, the healing. So I decided to hire me a plant-based nutritional coach.
That was interesting to me. Okay.
An expensive lesson because the way I ate was similar to the way I was raised up. I made dried beans. I learned how to make mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
I made country food healthy, healthy, but it was all
You
vegetables.
thought.
It was all vegetables. And I was not happy with the way I was feeling, my energy. I had a brain fog. I was bloated, like I
I hear
said,
about brain
constantly.
fog a lot.
And we won't discuss the issues with somewhat, I guess, IBS and or whatever you want to call it, because
Yeah.
I had heard some videos in the carnivore community. I thought, oh my gosh, that's getting to be me.
Mhm.
And I thought, I am aging there too, really fast. Something's going on. So anyway, I kept listening to the
We want to
carnivore.
put the brakes on that as much as we can.
Yes, and my skin, I wasn't happy. So I was, like I said, I was listening to carnivore. I'd listened to you, and then that nutritional coach sent me her meal plan. Every week you got a new meal plan, a grocery list. And I
Right.
thought, dear Lord, I am having to buy all this stuff that it's not cheap.
And it's labor intensive to
It's
prepare
the
too.
way she did plant-based, it was work, Cynthia. And I thought, the first week, I thought, I will never make it through this. So I, and she was from up north, and no offense to anybody I have relatives up north, love them, but their
Yeah.
cooking is not Southern. So the final straw was when I had my um, food processor, and I weighed out. You had to weigh everything. I weighed the kale, which I
Yeah.
had pretty much quit eating before that.
Yeah.
I
I
weighed
can't,
the kale,
can't
and
eat
it
that.
filled my food processor up.
Oh,
And I'm like, I can't do this again, because the only way I could eat kale is if I put it in the food processor, lightly steamed it or something like that. And then you have to put lemon juice and all kind of junk in it, garlic.
right. You have to doctor it up to make it palatable.
Yeah, and at the time, I was working on a project outside where I was having to drag bags of mulch and stuff. I was
I
exhausted.
remember that.
I looked at that mulch and I said, I can't do this. I went into the freezer and found some frozen hamburger patties that my husband had bought. I ate one. I thought, that just did something to my mindset. And I thought, I feel better. I feel like I got some energy, and I went outside and finished my work.
It's amazing how fast you can get energy when you have nutrient dense food in your body, right?
I couldn't have went back out there and finished if I was eat that kale. I would have probably just I should have
I can't
vegged
even
out.
imagine trying to eat that kale.
I was literally going to veg out, let me tell you. So that was when I started was in June. I just transitioned over a matter of weeks. I knew with my digestive system, I dare not try to do it immediately. I would have been very sick, and I probably would have
Well, a lot of
quit.
people have to do it the way they can do it,
Right.
as long as you're doing it, as
Yeah,
long as you're
use
doing
crossover
something.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I heard. Use some crossover foods like blueberries. We have 100 bushes here, over 100 bushes,
Oh, yeah.
and
We got our blueberries too. Yeah.
I eat my some blueberries with my lunch or with my breakfast. I did quit the dairy, so much dairy, but what I found immediately was that like within a day or two, my digestive issues, I wasn't bloated. And I'm like, this is the first time in years,
Your,
except
your
when I had.
body, your body really sends you signals about what it wants and what it needs if you can hear it. And I
it,
think
it,
people are
it
eating so
does.
much crap that they always feel bad. They don't even realize they feel bad until they feel
No,
good.
you get used to feeling bad.
Yeah,
And
you do.
in my 30s, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, my early 30s, osteoarthritis, degenerative arthritis in the neck. I had fibrocystic, but when you go through menopause, that just cleared up for me. Um, I'm trying to think
Well, I'll tell you what,
bursitis. I have bursitis.
yeah, all these things is that you're illustrating how this is not about weight loss. It's not about weight, and you definitely don't have to wait to lose. You need to gain some. But
Mhm.
I kept trying to reiterate to people that it's about internal healing, and the more things you have wrong, the longer it takes to heal inside. And once your body is actually like, yeah, we're there, the weight's going to regulate itself whether you need to gain or you need to lose, and it
Well,
also
you're
redistributes your muscles and everything. It's wild
right.
how it
Well, you're
does.
exactly right, because that's the thing that can be discouraging. I was listening to the carnivore community. Oh, and let me say, add this real quick. Brain fog has lifted.
Mm-hmm.
I got
I
to where
hear
I felt
that.
like I couldn't think. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's the thing, is it can be discouraging listening to some of the carnivore community. They're not doing anything wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
Right.
some people have such bad diets and they weigh so much that when they
Mm-hmm.
cut all the junk out, which I wasn't eating, when
Yeah.
they cut all the junk out, the processed foods, the sugars, high amounts of sugars, they start feeling better immediately. They start dropping the
Right.
weight. And I didn't have that issue. But what I did hear that rang to me was the older carnivores saying, I feel like I'm age reversing. And I thought, oh,
Mm-hmm.
hallelujah.
Yeah,
That's what I need.
exactly. I've had somebody compliment me, and one of my nephews complimented me. They said, "You look so much younger than you did." I think it was like 3 or 4 years before that. I thought, well,
Mhm.
that's nice. That's a nice
Well,
benefit.
I do feel better than I did. Now, everything has not magically went away since June. It's just not
No.
going to. And some
Mm.
things probably won't. They may get better. But I feel like, there were nights I would go to bed and my leg muscles would just ache
I
for no
remember you
reason.
telling me about that.
No reason. And now, like I helped my daughter at her arts and crafts fair she was at. I went for a couple of days and I stood the entire time, Cynthia. And
Wow.
I stood the entire time. Used to, my legs and my feet would have hurt so bad. I would have been completely so exhausted and wiped out. I would have had a relapse and been in the bed for a couple of days. No,
Your
I
story
was able.
sounds like I've heard it so many times about this is better, this is better, this is better, this is better. I'll never go back to the way I was
Mhm,
before.
mhm. Yeah.
You're just such a prime example of how we're eating similar things, almost the same things. Now, I didn't ask you exactly what you eat in a day or what your most of your foods are. Some people only eat like 2 or 3 foods, and that's all they ever eat. But it's just we come from different places health wise, and we have different issues now. Because I obviously need to lose weight. I'm hypothyroid. You're not. Um, but we it's interesting how this solution is the same
Mm-hmm.
to me.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not losing weight on carnivore diet like everybody else is. I'm
No,
not.
because you don't need to.
No, and I eat 3 meals a day. And I did hear that if you're struggling with a health issue, when you first start carnivore, don't try to fast, that your body
Yeah.
needs
I
to
don't do a
heal.
lot of, I have never done a full day fast. It gives me headaches. I just don't even try it. I have done the intermittent fasting where I have like an 18-hour window or something. I did that for a
Right,
long
right.
time, 2 meals a day for a long time. And now I just, if I'm hungry in the morning, I eat in the morning. I don't worry
Yeah.
about, as long as it's the right stuff, I don't worry about how many times I'm eating. And some people do better on 2 meals. Some people can only handle one. It just depends. You have to gear it to yourself, how your
Exactly.
body is and your problems that you're trying
Exactly.
to heal. And I fully believe it takes longer to heal internal problems than it does a weight problem.
Oh, I do too. I
It's
do
just,
too.
it's just so tangled up in there that it takes a while to get all the knots out.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
I think you're feeling so much better. I know. And you'll tell me, oh, this is better, or this is better, or your husband. Now you got your husband roped into this too.
Yeah, I got Charles on carnivore. I talked him into it after my birthday because he wanted birthday cake. So, um, and we're very blessed because we're the kind of people who can, when I say we cheat, we don't cheat all day long for days. We have a cheat, and then we
Yeah.
can go right back to it. If I'm stressed out, and I'll tell you, I used to stress eat some, but I was a controlled stress eater. My brain would kick in and go, Rachel, you can't do this. You have to go in moderation. So, Cynthia, and people are going to think this is weird, but this is what I can do. And I have like dark chocolate chips, and I can eat 5 of them, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm not like that. I was a full
I'm
on
sort of
sugar
very
addict
blessed
for
in
most of
that
my
way.
life.
Yeah,
So see, different places we're coming from here, but the
yeah,
same
but it
solution.
works. It works. And Charles is what I say. He was started out at 198, pre-diabetic, pre-heart disease, and he is down to 182. I think he was his last time he's told me he weighed was 182. So that's really good because over the past few years, he is just progressively, and it's all in his stomach. That's the
Mhm.
thing. That's
A lot
so
of
done.
men, that's the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I admire people who can evenly distribute their weight. That was never me. It all goes to my midsection, and Charles is the same way. And now my aunt is doing it, and she has a little salad, but she puts her meat products on the lettuce
Yeah.
because
I
she,
ate a lot
yeah,
of salads for a while.
yeah. And I told her that's low carb. It doesn't matter. If that's what it takes for you to do it or to transition, do it.
And
It's one of
people,
those.
yeah, people usually transition from one form of this to another. I started out ketogenic, then I went mostly to ketovore, and now pretty much full on carnivore, except for here and there. I have heavy cream in my coffee, and I might have, a slice of real cheese, not plastic
Right,
cheese,
right,
on my burger or something like that.
right.
In the summer, I don't deny myself some fresh tomatoes out of my garden on top of my ground beef. But some people can't handle nightshades.
Right, right.
And if I eat too much of anything like that, my body will go, you can't do that.
Yeah, I'm
So,
real careful about that.
so what are most of your foods on carnivore right now?
Mostly what I eat or we eat is in the morning pasture raised. I eat pasture raised eggs. He'll eat anything, but because of my psoriasis and everything, I'm trying to weed things out and figure out
Mm-hmm.
it's all it only I only have one little problem area on my elbow, and it's never turned that red. It was like this big. It was huge, but
That's
it's just a
horrible.
little bit of roughness now. So I watch that to gauge how I'm doing and
Okay.
how I feel. But this weather's kind of got us messed up. But anyway, with my hands, so I think it's the drastic changes back and forth in the temperature.
Yeah,
But
the weather's
anyway,
going to affect you no matter what you're eating.
yes, yes.
So,
It's like
so
you're a
you eat
barometer.
eggs. I eat a ton of eggs because I've got chickens. So, I
Right.
mean, right now they're not laying, but they
It'd be
will.
great if I still had my chickens. It's just timing
Yeah.
was bad on that. But we just discovered a butcher shop not far from us. So we got some market bacon we eat for breakfast. Some he just had made fresh sausage, so we eat sausage.
Well,
He likes those little red link sausages. I'll eat one every once in a while, but they're a little bit too spicy for me. And then he likes variety. So I don't love pork, but I'll fix pork and chicken, but not the lean cut. I don't prefer the lean cuts. If
yeah,
like
I grew up
leg,
eating chicken breast, not the dark meat.
right,
So
right.
I and it's got more money. I don't like gnawing on bones. If I always tell my husband I don't like to gnaw on bones. I don't like wings and stuff. But but they're better cuts. They have more fat in the dark meat.
Yeah. So we did pick up, we do chicken wings and he got some chicken legs the other day and I'm gonna try frying those in lard. Um Now I have coated pork chops with crushed up rinds, pork skins. That was pretty good.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, pork
it's a
pork
lot of
rinds
ground,
are awesome.
a lot of beef. Well, I can't eat pork rinds anymore because of my acid reflux. It just shot that out the roof. So
Yeah, yeah, I've
no
got to
pork
watch
rinds
those
for
too.
Rachel.
I feel it when I eat way too many pork rinds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But mostly beef. That's my favorite. If I could just eat
me
beef all
too.
the time, I'd be happy.
Yeah, the basic Ken Berry diet, the with the what do you call it? I forgot what he calls this. It's like a kickstart diet, like beef, butter, bacon, and eggs,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just the pure beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and nothing else.
What
Um,
I tell you what I do love, Cynthia, is I made beef tallow. He brought me some beef fat back from the butcher shop, and I just put it in the crock pot on low and stirred it every once in a while, cooked it all day till all the fat rendered out. That stuff is wonderful scrambling your eggs in. You ought to try it sometime.
I'll have to try that. I just use butter, butter, and I season my cast iron pan with lard. But
I do too. I do the exact same thing. And my aunt told me giving up coffee. She's going to get some bones and make bone broth and drink that in the morning instead of coffee. And I thought,
I think homemade bone broth would probably be better than what I've gotten from
yeah,
Walmart. I'm not that
yeah.
fond of bone broth in general, but I think if it was homemade, it probably would be better.
Well,
Yeah.
I told her I think that's part of what I'm after in the morning is the hot drink because I'm drinking decaf. So it's not
Yeah.
for
No, it's not for the caffeine because our pot is mostly decaf. And I'll have one hot and sometimes I'll just save the rest of it and I'll just do what I did today, just so iced
yeah,
coffee.
yeah.
Um, Now when it's in the middle of winter, I probably don't want iced coffee. I want the hot stuff. But you know, I use heavy cream. A lot of people can't deal with the cream, but it doesn't seem to have hurt me. So
Yeah.
as long as I can have it, I think I will have it.
Well, I'd love to be able to find a dairy, and I think we have one over the state line that sells raw milk products.
Yes, now it's legal here in Georgia.
I know. It,
Crazy.
but this still, I think, the closest one's over the state line. But at least if we aren't breaking the law now when we bring it over,
As if we care. We'll eat
renegade.
what we need to eat.
Well, you know how
Oh,
the
well,
government is.
so do you eat fish at all?
Sometimes we actually have a pond behind our house.
Well, I got chickens, you got a pond.
Yeah, but I do like eating fresh fish, but I still would rather eat beef.
Me too.
I have done sardines.
Yeah,
I don't
tried
mind
them, not
sardines.
really for me.
Well, yeah, they're not for everybody. I eat them with mustard or hot sauce, and I
A lot
buy
of
them.
people eat sardines a lot on this way of
Mm.
eating.
Yeah.
I just found out that I'm just really Southern in a way that if it's not battered or fried and, you know, the fish itself, it's
Right.
like, yeah, forget it. I don't want that stuff.
Yeah. I
And I've
don't
had
mind it
some,
on
I
the
like salmon.
grill.
Okay. I like salmon, but baked salmon with a
Oh
little
yeah, yeah.
teriyaki sauce or something on it, sugar in there, I'm sure. But yeah,
Well,
anyway.
Charles got me a little smoker, and I like to use it a lot. It's electric.
Mhm.
So I guess it's a pretend smoker, but it still puts smoke in your food.
The city girl smoker.
But and I'm not
Yeah.
even a city girl, but it
No,
works.
I know you're not, but it's just, you know,
But that would be good putting a fish on there in there.
yeah, it probably would be. I've had grilled fish on the gas grill outside before.
Oh,
It's been years.
it's
Been
good.
years since I did that. I don't think the little thing that you put it in and smack hells it over. I don't even know where that is anymore. Have to get me a new one if I want to do that. But anyway, so you obviously you plan to continue eating like this.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did plant-based for 5 years, and I just
It
can't.
did nothing for you, huh?
I
It's a, it did something to you, but not for you.
no. It did get me off the processed food.
Yeah, that's the
I'll
first
say
step. I
that.
mean, if people could just do that, just shop the edge of the grocery store, the meat, the fresh vegetables, even the fruits, start with that if they can't do full on carnivore. And I
Well,
think that's at
yeah.
least a start.
Well, let me say, sorry, I should correct myself. I said I got me off the processed food. I would eat occasional processed food, but when I was plant-based, I got it in my head somehow that eating the vegan, I think it was out of boredom, eating the vegan processed food like plant-based burgers and things like that was okay. I still wouldn't eat anything that had hydrogenated fats in it or anything, like that. Refined oils, I thought were okay. Junk food, sweets, as long as it didn't have meat in it, you're okay. But like I said, I still ate meat occasionally, not very often, but occasionally.
Yeah, I see those. I see more plant-based things in the meat section. It's like, don't put that here. Put the vegetables. Don't put it over here. And it had the Impossible Burger patties. Remember you seen
I
those?
tried that, and then I found out about the ingredients, and I thought, oh no, no, no,
Well,
no.
I actually exclaimed in Walmart one day. I said, "The Impossible Burger. The only thing impossible about that is I would ever eat it."
That it's called a burger. That's what's
It's called a
impossible.
burger at all.
But yeah,
Veggie patty. It's a
I did
veggie
try.
patty.
I did
But
try.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying I did try them, but I wouldn't do it again. I would not recommend it to anybody eating plant-based. Mm-mm.
No, well, you're a prime example of what it can do to you because digestive issues are a big thing when you get that much fiber. And it's interesting. People don't understand. They think, oh, I have terrible digestive issues. I need more fiber. No, that's what caused it in the first place. You can't, I'm to the point now that I won't listen to a doctor about nutrition. I've only had one doctor my entire life that recommended keto eating. It wasn't
Mhm.
called that, but I remember the sheets that she would give me, and it was definitely keto. And then she would say, well, some women, I kept saying, I can't, my weight is stalled out. I can't lose weight. And she'd say, well, that women sometimes to kickstart themselves, they need to start some intermittent fasting. And I've never had a doctor other than her tell me that. Too bad that she passed away suddenly and I couldn't have her as my doctor anymore. But yeah, people are given the opposite advice to what is actually helpful all the time.
It's sad that doctors don't know more about healing outside of just using a
Yeah,
prescription.
and then all they want is the pop a pill thing. Oh my God, your total cholesterol is 230, which is not anything. And then it's like well, you need to go on a statin. Well, they don't tell you the rest of the readings. The readings of HDL, the so-called good cholesterol,
Mhm.
and the triglycerides are the important readings, not the LDL. And they have the studies now that show that people who have higher LDL live longer in general.
Right, right.
And
Well, you
that's the opposite of what they're telling us now.
exactly. And um, Charles went to his neurologist and he's going for his pain from his near fatal tree incident. And I told her that before he started coming to her, he was eating like he was in a nursing home. It was simple, overly refined carbohydrates all day long. That's all he would eat, and Dr. Pepper. And I
Oh,
told her that I put him, and I referred to it as a high protein diet because I figure doctors just wig out if you tell them carnivore. So I
yeah,
said, I
it
put him
triggers.
on,
It's a trigger word.
yeah, I said, I put him on a high protein diet. And she said, looked at him, she said, well, that's much better for your brain.
There you go. She didn't know what she was agreeing to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's
But he
sometimes what you
does.
got to do. But you have to be your own advocate. That's the whole point of all of
Right,
this is that
right.
you have to take the bull by the horns and you have to be responsible for your health. The doctor
Exactly.
is responsible for dishing out pills that he gets kickbacks on in the
They
end.
they rarely ask you about your diet until you
Mm.
weigh way too much or you're diabetic. Then they say, well, you need to eat healthier, and I'm going to send you to this nutritionist, and it's the standard American diet. SAD,
Or what is
SAD.
worse to me is when people go in after they've been on carnivore or ketovore and they're all their most of their problems are solved, their weight is regular, and then if the doctor finds out what they're eating, oh my god, that's so bad for you, you can't do that, you need fruits and vegetables. It's like, what part of the lab results did you not understand? Do you know
You
what I
know,
mean?
that's what kills me is to see people who are eating just tons of junk and they are telling carnivores that what they're doing is not healthy.
I wouldn't rely on a doctor for nutritional advice unless I got a clue that they were clued in the beginning.
Exactly. Exactly.
But anyway, yeah, we got just a little bit left here on my time. So yeah, I hope this is going to be informative for somebody because it's just interesting to see. The reason I want you to come on here is because we're so different.
Mhm.
We have such different histories and everything, and different issues that we've had. Now, I'm just hypothyroid. I'll always be hypothyroid, I guess. Even Dr. Barry says, depends on how long you've been on that Synthroid, the artificial hormone, if you can get off of it.
Right.
And, so if that's the only thing and it's not affecting me any other way, I think it leached a lot of calcium out of my, or whatever, out of my bones, protein or whatever it leaches out of your bones. I think that's why I ended up with osteopenia and osteoporosis all the years of Synthroid. I think
Mm.
that is part of what happened to me. And I think one doctor actually told me that. So, but I don't know if I can ever get off of it. But other than that, I mean, I'm turning 67 in a couple of days, and that's the only medication I take. That's it.
Well, that's just crazy to me, Cynthia, because you don't look like you could be 67 and you don't act like it either.
Oh, well, that's good.
Or 67 isn't what it used to be.
No, and I've seen people's ages listed on a video or something. And I'm going, this is not carnivore. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm the same age as that person. The person looks old. I mean, really old.
I
And
know.
it just their life has just aged them. I mean, my mother-in-law died at I think 64 or something like that,
Mhm.
20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And she at the time, she looked 80. She
Mhm.
looked 80. She looked terrible.
It's sad.
Smoker, fried foods, seed oils. I mean, every bad thing. So eating what I affectionately call Southern slop. Country cooking, Southern slop. But yeah. So anyway,
Right. Yeah. Those restaurants that advertise country food, I'm like, no, 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 no. Because
no, no.
I know what it is. You just
Oh
know.
yeah. You don't even
Look,
know. And you don't even know what's in it when you go out anywhere because they had
no.
that study recently. They tested chicken 100% white meat chicken patties from Wendy's and Burger King and all these kind of places. And they found out they were only like between 40 and 60% chicken, actual chicken. So the part that was chicken was
Right.
probably 100% white meat chicken. It's just that it was filled with, they had seaweed and sawdust and all kinds of bizarre things in there. So you
No.
can think you're eating a chicken patty and you're not.
I guess if you're vegan, that sounds pretty good, that part of
Ugh.
it. I don't know, but
No, I don't even eat, I hardly eat chicken anymore. I've had chickens too long to even want to eat chicken anymore. I don't, I mean, they're too smart. I just, it's like, I'll
well,
just eat beef.
You know, when I was plant-based, that was the one meat I never missed. I did
Hmm.
not care if I ever had chicken.
Mm-mm.
I'm meat. I mean, beef is what I missed, you know.
Yes. I love a good roast in the crock pot all day.
Yeah, yeah. But, well, you know, maybe we can do this again, especially if people have questions, they could put them in the
Yes.
comments.
I hope y'all put your questions for Rachel or for me, whichever, in the comments section. I'm going to edit this and put it out on the channel. And you know, any question? And you were going to have some tests about 6 months, blood tests. Maybe we can come back and talk about your results on your blood test
Oh,
if you
yeah, yeah,
mind to.
yeah. I'll probably have them done at the first of the year. I'm just going to wait till
Okay. Well, whenever we'll just,
and
I
do
mean, we'll
it.
just keep it casual. We won't make any concrete plans because you know how those go with us. So,
Well, I know. And, um, but
well,
yeah, any
okay.
questions,
Well,
that would be great.
thank you so much for coming on here because I thought it would be helpful for somebody here that different people, same solution.
I hope it is helpful because I'm sure there's other people like me who are not going to
Oh,
see the
yeah.
instant
And they need to
healing
gain
of
weight, not lose
everything.
weight. So the people who are losing 500 pounds are not, it's not the same person, not the same type of
Right,
person.
right,
So
right.
anyway, well, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Well, thank you,
Well,
Cynthia. It's always good to talk to you.
you too, Rachel. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.